Alright, buddy. Today I'm going to teach you how to set the basic foundational tools in TradingView. Like your most standard, your unique core indicators like volume. Um, Make sure you have all your Fibonacci tools. Make sure you have um, the arrows and everything. Let's 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 open up TradingView. And you'll notice here um, you pull up to the markets summary, and on the right hand side you should see your watch list. These are the tokens that you want to keep an eye out to add to your watch list. Este botoncito, this little button. You can search on all, search for crypto only. Let's say I want to look up DVPN. I would add a button here. You can keep an eye out. You see that there's three different DVPN charts. One is pegged with Tether, one is with USD. But there's also different types of exchange types. So this one is from crypto.com, from TradingView. Crypto TradingView, Qcoin, or Osmosis. In this case, since DVPN is on the Osmosis chain, go ahead and add DVPN USD on the Osmosis chain. We'll find it here. You can see noted it came here on the Osmosis chain. Current price 0.375. You can scroll down, and you can see like all these ideas. What are people posting about? And if you click the see super chart, you get into the chart reading process, or where the real chart reading happens. Let me erase this. I can start from a blank. Okay, so I clicked Osmosis, and now it's like the chart pops out. You saw that it's a little the scales on the right hand side. You can pull these or roll your mouse to move these, to change scales in terms of time frame. Like let's say, okay, I'm looking at this. I did some analysis, but I want to zoom out. I want to go out. So you scroll here, but then you're on the hour. This is on the hour, so right here you can change the time frame. The time frame could be 3 hours. You see how it gets a little bit more condensed. The 3 days. See the overall trend here on Osmosis. You can go up to every candle being a week. Give you a more long-term perspective. You would use this tool to go into even the minute. And then on the right of that, there is your type of chart you would like to see. You can do a bar pattern if you want to look at closes and do little doji analysis. Helps a little bit. Also checks pressure. All these closes are definitely helpful versus like having a line. So sometimes you want to use different types of like visuals. You also have the candles for doji analysis también. Those are those. Over here, you can look up your indicators. You click here, search some indicators. I have a few. I'll go through some of the guys that I use, keep them in my favorites. And you go search all the indicators, your MAC and D, right here, your relative strength, volume, some dungeon channels, the moving averages, various things you can start using. And on the left hand side, after on the left hand side are all your tools. So up here is more like the data that you're trying to collect, and here are the tools to analyze that data. This little square gives you like additional information. So let's say I added a exponential moving average. I just popped up here. Um, I can hide it. It's that purple line you see there. I can go to settings here, give it a smoothing line, uh, change the length to maybe a longer time frame, 50 days at the close. Um, it's definitely up to analysis. Um, it comes, you get a little data here where you can manage this if you want to hide these things. This is where that information would be. Let's go from the top of these tools. If once you click these guys and you start hardening your favorites on your toolbar right here, you should see them popping up. Like say if I click, I would like to add the 3 divisions pattern. Pops up right here. Okay. I always let's start with these lines. So I got the trend line saved. So go ahead and say the trend line. I use the horizontal line. This horizontal line gives me support and resistance. Just some kind of just horizontal line. And if you use this button here, and you see this magnet, it attaches it. It attaches it to the price per se. Like, okay, I got this line right, and you see how my cursor is already picking up the wicks with me just going over it slightly. Okay, so that's where the line is gonna start, and then it catches it almost like a magnet is on these candles, and that's what this guy does. It gives it a little exact connection, rather than when you remove this little magnet, you can grab a little bit more freely. It doesn't have that magnetic force to it. There's a difference. Like when you're writing here, like let's say you're saying, oh, it's going up and down, up and down. Right here, it's not, it looks well, but if you have that magnet, it's going to pull. Pull. You see how like it slowly starts to pull. That's the difference in that magnet use. Sometimes it's useful. Sometimes if you want to grab exacts versus if you want to grab, your own personal, or like in the middle, kind of thing. I also have the vertical lines to measure dates. This one's very cool. To from here to here, it's X amount of days. Give you kind of like a breaker. I also have the parallel channel. Parallel channel is a real cool one. It's this guy right here. In the parallel channel, Jeffrey Kennedy uses this a lot. He made the Kennedy channel technique, which I'll go in another video. But essentially, it measures like if the trend is within a channel, it's likely to be a correction. It's when the channel breaks is when it's no longer a correction, but a change in trend. So let's say I want this trend here. I can grab the 2 bottoms or the 2 tops. There's 3 tops. Just kind of do one of these. Very useful tool. You can see how it starts to indicate various key support areas, or very key areas of information once that channel is built. It's really cool. It does help understand larger trends. That's the parallel channel. Don't really use any of these right here, but experiment with them. Okay, let's go to the measurements. So this is Fibonacci. If you see that, this is Fibonacci tools. All these are Fibonacci tools. They measure in terms of ratios of this ratio that ultimately is 0.618. Let me show you how to use it. You click it. So I have this guy right here, Fibonacci retracement. You grab one trend, which is, let's say, from, take out this little guy, from here, this is where the trend starts, this is where the trend ends. You measure this wave. This is one wave. And then what does it give you? It gives you these sets of numbers right here. You can switch these in the settings. If you want to put them over here, you want to put them, right here. It all, there's various settings, but these are the core. Where's my eraser? These are the core numbers. It is 1, of course. Oh wait, this all starts 0, 0.236, 0.382, 0.5, 0.618, 0.786, and 1. So what this is saying is we're measuring with the Fibonacci tool. We're measuring this, and we're seeing how far back it retraced. This is a Fibonacci retracement. So we're checking how much it's retracing. We measure the initial wave and then see how far it retraced. So this one retraced, this wave retraced in between this area. We can also measure so that's the Fibonacci. Fibonacci, there's also trend-based, to measure time. Oh, sorry. Trend-based is to measure, to extend your trend. So an example of this one would be, so this one, we just went over retracement. This one is Fibonacci extension, which I can measure the same wave, place that information on this wave, and see how far out it will extend. This number right here is 0.618. Golden ratio happens here, so I want to see a minimum of here. This is equality, so if it falls all the way down here, that's equality from this wave to this wave. That would be crazy. That's Fibonacci extension. I also have, I think those are your basic ones. We'll talk more about Fibonacci time-based Fibo, but this one is, places it vertically. So you can ultimately, like, let's say, even measure the time that it took for this to happen. Wait, hold on, let me see. So click right here, say how long compared, I place it here. So I measure this, I place it here, and then equality in terms of time happens here. So equality in terms of time and in terms of time and and price, you find equality somewhere around that area. And so now you get a little context, like this just gives you context. Those are some ways I use those Fibo tools, but those are your main ones. Let's go over to this head and shoulders. Head and shoulders, if you see a pattern with a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, it's your head and shoulders pattern that anticipates it to go in this direction, in that direction to the downside. If it's this way, if it's inverted upside down, then it will go to the upside. That's head and shoulders. We also have, let's remove all these drawings. So you go to your little garbage, remove all drawings, removes everything. Let's go back to these patterns. Another cool one is the triangle pattern. Heart that. Actually, don't heart it just yet. But you do want to do the Elliott waves. These are like your basic theory that I use foundationally. Been using it for a while, and it's just been showing resilience over hundreds of years. So Elliott waves is very core. So you talk about your impulse wave. That's kind of your impulse wave is like your most basic pattern, which looks like this. Let's say it's going up, changing the trend. That's wave one. Wave two never retraces below the start of wave one. Wave three is never the shortest wave. Wave four never goes to the price territory of one, and wave five looks like that. So that's kind of your basic pattern, your Elliott wave pattern that you're trying to count. And then you have your ABC, which are your retracements, which start right after number 5. Have your first A, B, C. It tends to end anywhere from the previous 4th wave to down here. This is your basic ABC pattern. They also, if it's a complex per se, multiple patterns, you will use W, but we don't need that just yet. But keep that in mind that there's complex ABCs if you want to label them. And then you got your doubles, your triangles, pardon. So your triangles often occur in your wave 4 of this 5, and they look like triangles. Let me illustrate. Like that, like that, like that, like that. That's kind of what we're looking at here. A triangle. It's 5-wave move. These boundary lines. That's triangle, and at 4, and then final bounce. So these usually happen at wave 4. 5-wave moves labeled in A, B, C, D, E. So that's what that one's for. And then that's good for these guys. Then you have the forecasting, the projections, that also help. So if you have a long position, you're saying, okay, should I enter here? I'm gonna enter here. If I'm wrong, I stop out there. If I'm right, I profit that much. And then you get a risk reward ratio of 15% in this case. So that's for a long position. And then we also have the short position. You can favorite that one too. So what this one says is like, okay, my position starts here. If I'm right, C gives me that. If I'm wrong, this is kind of what it would look like for the short position. Sorry about that. Keep on pushing space. Space is so you can go to the next chart in the wait list. You go scroll through space with space. All the graphs that you got going. Look, you see this. And we were at DVPN, right? No, we're not at DVPN. We were in osmosis. Sorry about that. Okay, so that's the shorter position. So hard those two. If you want to copy patterns, like let's say, I want to project, I want to grab this and put it here, because I feel like it's the same style of wave, put that projection there. There's also these measuring tools to measure price, like how much did it go down, 64%. And then we also have to measure time, how many days did it take, or how many weeks in this case, because we're in the week. How many weeks did it take? Say 23 weeks, 161 days. And then the date and price range, so just a combination of both, if you want to use that one too. Those are that. I got the brush here to draw. I got the arrow to point. This to make comments. I usually go like, oh, right here something's gonna happen. Square to do ranges. That's a range. Path to determine how these things will play out. And just circle to really like point out stuff. Like, oh, I want you to look at this area. Real nice circle. Texts and callouts are just for, making notes. And that's about it, folks. I think that's, you can use these guys, hide drawings, lock your chart, lock your drawings, stay in drawing mode only, and then really throw it away, all the stuff. You can remove everything, remove the indicators. Like I said, these are the indicators right here. Oh, and we can go over indicators real quick. Okay, make sure you do the EMAs, which is the moving averages. So click here. Let's click indicators, EMAs, moving average, RSI, relative strength, index. Yeah, I already told you Mac and D. Volume. The volume, you can get the oscillator and the bar graph. Both are cool. What else? The EMAs. Those are it. The other ones are to wait. We'll go over those one by one. But those initial ones that I just went over, just add those and start messing with them. Like start figuring out what they're trying to, like the relative strength. What is it like telling you? Like you get this information. Like what is it saying here? Like what does these top ones mean? What does the green? What does the yellow one mean? The blue one, and so on. Start asking yourself questions. Same thing with Mac and D. You see the zero line. It's probably the most important line. And see the relationship with price. Start to like just explore that area of the analysis, and then slowly we'll start to get into more information and more complex ideas. But thanks for stopping by. Definitely hope you guys got some learning and how to set up just like the basic stuff for TradingView. It's a super cool tool. You can save all your charts here. Um, make a copy of these layouts. Save a layout. Provide new layouts. Start recently used layouts. Load a different layout. Um, the settings buttons here. If you want to, like, let's say, say change all the settings here, the scales, there's like logarithmic and linear, that's very important labels. So right click on this information, gives you some more options. um, and if you want to share it, like snap a picture, copy image, copy link, now it's on your clipboard and you can paste it somewhere else on your Discord or whatever, um, and share it. This is a way to share it, publish it, and that's about it. That's kind of your basic stuff to start. Hopefully, you explore this and have questions for me. I can help you um, get familiar with TradingView. It's super easy and interactive. Um, just start searching BTC USD and get going. All right. Well, have a good one.